The Haitian invasion in Springfield, Ohio, showing no signs of slowing down. The community's been ravaged by a surge of 15,000 migrants that's rocked the town's way of life. John Legend is Springfield's favorite son, but the Grammy winner hasn't lived there for a while, and now that his hometown's in the spotlight, he's got a message for them.
We had about 15,000 or so immigrants move to my town of 60,000. Now, you might say, wow, that's a lot of people for a town that only had 60,000 before. That's a 25% increase. That is correct. So you might imagine there are some challenges with, integrating a new population, new language, new culture, new dietary preferences. They are hardworking, they're ambitious, they commit less crime than native-born Americans, and they will assimilate and integrate in time.
I like Legend's music, but not his attitude. A millionaire in a Beverly Hills mansion telling working-class Americans who make 60 grand a year, yeah, there's challenges, just give it time. Crime's up 142%. There's a record amount of car accidents. You're getting squeezed out of your homes. And the geese population's been decimated. But it'll work itself out. Be patient. Why didn't John Legend tell Martha's Vineyard to be patient? Martha's Vineyard had 50 illegals show up and had a panic attack and airlifted them out to a military base within 48 hours. 15,000 Haitians parachute into a small town, and Chrissy Teigen's husband saying, relax, they're ambitious. Does John Legend have any idea people are dying?
I'd like to talk about the death of one very special person, my mother-in-law, Kathy Heaton. On December 1st, I received a phone call that changed my life forever. She was collecting her trash can from her driveway when a car struck and killed her instantly. A Haitian immigrant was allegedly driving recklessly when he struck and killed her. I say allegedly because to this day, there's been no punishment. Not even for the expired tags on the vehicle he was driving. How can we expect them to come here from a country that doesn't have the same laws and rules and expect them to comply with ours? It is unsafe, unjust, and it needs to change.
This Haitian takeover is creating a serious culture clash in small-town America. Springfield doesn't hate Haitians. They just love their community. The United States of America has absorbed immigrants naturally over the course of hundreds of years. Usually, immigrants touch down in cities and are more easily assimilated. It's extremely rare to deposit an arena full of poor Haitians into a tiny Midwestern town. They don't have the room, the resources, or a pre-existing cultural landing pad to receive a tidal wave of hungry Haitians. Haitians without English skills, formal education, and driving experience. A reckless immigration policy stretches us too thin and ruins the American experiment. I spoke to Mark Sanders, a Springfield resident, who's seen this firsthand.
Our food pantries, they get stripped. Our clinics, which is Rocking Horse, is a federally funded clinic in town. Their budget was decimated. Our roads are it's like Escape from New York, and everybody feels like Snake Plissken. They have between 4 and 6 wrecks a day, and probably over 50% of those are people without licenses, without insurance, and have no English skills.
Kamala is responsible for the Haitian invasion, and she finds it funny. But Trump has a plan. Listen.
We will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela. You know, he told Biden he's not accepting anybody back. They moved all their criminals. Not all of them, but the rest are moving in now. They emptied their jails in Venezuela, emptied their criminals, emptied the nests. They call them nests of bad people. They're all now in the United States, and they're now taking over cities. It's like an invasion from within. And we're going to have the largest deportation in the history of our country. And we're going to start with Springfield and Aurora.
Ohio Senate candidate Bernie Moreno is here. So, Bernie, is anybody upset in Ohio? I mean, Kamala's not going to help. Biden's not going to help. Is anybody in Ohio going to do anything about this?
Well, the problem is that our U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown, my opponent, is the one that signed off on giving temporary protective status to the people who come here illegally in the first place. And what he wants to do and Kamala Harris wants to do is make them citizens. We have to, as President Trump just said, deport them. Look, when you have a millionaire celebrity in a bathrobe, for God's sake, can a man put some clothes on, lecturing Ohio on what he should do? You know, this is the problem in this country is we have these elites and these politicians that look down on rural America, think that they're better than we are, and put these problems on us. Look, we have American citizens that need help. Don't we need leaders in Washington, D.C. that look out for our fellow citizens above all else, Jesse?
Yeah, it's shock and awe. You don't put 15,000 people in a small town from the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere and just expect it to go well without the resources or the room. Do you understand that this is a little different here? No one hates Haitians, but they can't absorb this kind of wave like that?
Well, first of all, I'm a legal immigrant from Colombia, South America myself, so I absolutely understand it. I also understand as a legal immigrant that it's infuriating when this country rewards people and gives special treatment to others who broke the law to come here. Let's allow people to come here legally that want to assimilate, that want to learn the language. And the way we change that is by going on BernieMoreno.com and helping me defeat Sherrod Brown. That's how we get this country back.
All right. Thank you so much, Bernie.
Did you watch the presidential debate that night?
Yes. What impressed me the most was President Trump's comment about pets being eaten in Springfield.
If Springfield's situation hadn't been exposed in that way, no one would probably be paying attention to it now.
That's right. The impact of putting 30,000 Haitians into a town of 60,000 people is really severe.
The news said that accidents caused many injuries and that school and medical resources were stripped.
Yes, the living space for locals has been squeezed.
I heard that the governor allocated $2.5 million to help the city.
It wasn't to help American citizens. That money was used to help Haitians learn English and adapt to the culture.
What?
A local person who has been helping the homeless for years said that only Americans have such problems because immigrants receive government aid.
If I were a local, I'd be very angry and think it's very unfair.
Yes, I can understand their anger. If this situation happened in my city, I'd be equally upset.
But putting 30,000 people into a city of 60,000, the consequences are predictable.
You're right. This shows that those making these decisions are not considering the local residents at all, expecting all the problems to resolve themselves.
If leaders have such problems, it's time to change the leader.
Mark Sanders lives in Springfield, Ohio, and he joins us now. All right, so Mark, how was Springfield, Ohio, of all the towns in this great country, picked to receive 15,000 to 20,000 Haitian migrants?
Not really sure. I know that back a decade ago, a previous mayor and a local minister created a pipeline to repopulate Springfield after its dwindling population after one of our manufacturers downsized. And that was mainly people from Mexico. That pipeline existed. Influx began back in 2020 and 2021. They just utilized what already was there. And they've been coming ever since, not in the volumes that we've seen the last 2 years, but it's been a gradual increase.
So how
and the
is...
number right now, unfortunately, is closer to 30,000.
30,000. Okay. How has that changed your town, Springfield, with 30,000 Haitians living there now?
Well, number one is lifelong residents have been moved out of their homes that they've rented for decades. People who own their homes have accepted very high offers, and then they've been turned into basically dormitories by landlords, both American and Haitian. There's a lot of greed on both sides of the fence. We have a temp service temporary staffing service that actually is probably employing about 95% of the those that have arrived here that are working. Many aren't. Not everybody's working, and people will say that. Not everybody is. But the staffing service owns 63 homes. Those homes are used as dormitories. They shuttle the workers to and from their jobs so they know they go. He takes a portion of their check, charges them for transportation, and charges them for lodging.
So people are financially preying on these Haitians as they replace you. They've basically taken people living there, and now they're not able to live there anymore. What are we hearing about people's pets disappearing? You keep hearing that. Is that even true?
There's a lot of vicious rumors floating around. I will tell you that our geese, our duck population is nearly decimated in our 2 parks. There have been, well, you played the 911 call. The city manager of Springfield denied it existed, and I do appeal to him tonight on your show for a public apology to those that he told a non-truth to. There is a report, there is a 911 call, there was a witness, therefore there was an incident in my eyes. As far as the cats and dogs, I think that's a bit sensationalized. I won't say it hasn't occurred. I've heard from others it has, but nobody's ever given a infallible description of when, where, and who.
If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with future videos. Thank you for watching.